Paulie Malagnaggi versus Zab Super Judah. This fight is taking place December 7th in the Barclays Center. And Austin No Doubt Trout versus Arislandi Lara on the same card. I'm going to just break down both fights. Let's just start with Trout and Lara. First and foremost, this fight is not really going to be for casual fans. It's going to be for fans who who understand the sweet science of boxing. This is not going to be a bloodbath or, a slugfest. This is going to be a show of skill and a really technical fight. With that said, Arislandi Lawrence coming off a very tough fight with Alfredo Angulo. He took a lot of punishment in that fight, actually. But he showed that he got heart and he got the will and determination to come back from adversity and do some things. And you got Austin Trout. He's coming off a 12-round decision loss to Canelo Alvarez. He put up a valiant effort in that fight. He really had no reason to really hang his head in that fight. He just was up against a lot in that fight. He was up against Canelo. He was up against the state of Texas. He was up against the open scoring. He was up against, 30+ thousand fans influencing, the judges with every jab that Canelo threw or missed shot. He went out there and he fought a close fight with Canelo. Not shocked that the margin of victory for Canelo was so wide. I did have Canelo winning, but I could have saw a draw because I only had him winning by like 1 point. So, this fight, it's a tough fight to pick, man. They're both southpaws. They both like to box. I think Lara has a little bit more power, a little bit more pop. I'm going to go with Austin Trout in this one, man. I think Trout is just a little bit more seasoned and has the better chin. I know he was down versus Canelo. Both guys are coming off being down in both fights. But I like Trout in this one. I think he's going to outbox him in a very boring fight. I just think Lara took a lot of punishment in his last fight. And his chin, he doesn't have the best chin. And he's susceptible to being hurt in fights. Not that I'll say Trout is the biggest puncher, but I think Trout can actually hurt this guy. I think Trout is just a more seasoned fighter. Laura's been in there with some names, but I just think Trout is a more seasoned fighter, and I think Trout is going to be able to outpoint him here in a close fight. I'll just go Trout by split decision. That's how I see it going. As for the main event, Paulie Malagnaggi versus Zab Super Judah. As you all might know or not know, Paulie just signed with Al Heyman after going on the huge rant saying Al Heyman fighters will get the biggest paydays and they always get the decision and Al Heyman's in this judge's pocket and etc. I just think it's kind of funny that he says all that stuff and then eventually he signs with the guy. So They're both coming off losses. He lost in a split decision to Adrian Broner. Um, I think, I think it was a close fight. I think, Broner's mind just isn't all the way focused on boxing. I think Broner could have made easy work of the guy, but he's just not focused enough. So Paulie, being the veteran he is, he took advantage of that and made it a close fight. He outpointed him, basically, pity patted him to death. Zab Judah, he's coming off a loss to Danny Garcia. People giving him credit for coming back in the last 3 rounds. I don't give him credit. I think he lost the fight clearly. I mean, just because you came back in the last 3 rounds, I mean, what happened to the other 9 rounds? You pretty much was getting beat up. So, I mean, he is a veteran. Angel Garcia got under his skin, and he got up for that fight. So, I think Zab, he put on a halfway decent performance. I thought he lost clearly to Danny Garcia. So, anyway, as for this fight, I'm going to go with Paulie, man. I'm going to go with Paulie. I'm going to rock with Paulie in this one. I think Paulie going to pity pat him to death. Zab is just over the hill, man. I'm going to go with the younger guy. I think Paulie's a little bit more fresh, and he's taking less punishment. I think he can pity pat him and outpoint him. But Zab will be in this one, man. One thing about Zab, he get you hurt, he'll get your ass out of there. So, Paulie does have a chin. I think Zab has a speed advantage in here, but I think Paulie has a foot speed advantage. And I think Paulie gonna get on this bike and outpoint Zab. Let me know what you guys think. That's just how I see it go. It's your boy JT. I'm out.